Yes, the electric bike does have oil, a very small amount of oil. What's up, YouTube? Welcome to ElectroBraap. Today, once again, we are out front of Mi Casa, and I wanted to do a little video on how to change the oil on this bike. Yes, the electric bike does have oil, a very small amount of oil, 1/10 of a quart, or even slightly less than that. So let's take a look at what we need to do this and how it's done.
Alright, so you don't need very much. All you need is a metric set of Allens or hexes. You need an 8mm with possibly an extension. You need some 75/90 gear oil. Considering that this bike doesn't have any combustion or anything like that, no clutch slipping, which is going to get material inside of it, inside of the oil, it runs a gear oil. You're also going to need a catch can. Mine is full of dirt because the last thing that I dumped into here was grimy fuel from cleaning the cleaning the air filter in my 125. So yeah, don't have to worry about that as much as I used to. For me, there's an extra step. That's why the bike is leaned up against the house right now and not on the stand. And it's because I have the SXS skid plate that I need the bottom exposed so I can remove that plate before we change the oil. If you don't have that, which most of you probably won't, it's a lot less work, a lot less. This is more work than changing the oil. So let's get at it. Now I wanted to do this with basic hand tools because I want to show how easy it is. And I'm a klutz, so if I can do it, anyone can do it. Let's get under here. Come on. By the way, this skid plate has been awesome. Absolutely awesome. You know what I'm thinking? I may not need... No, it needs to come off. I'm wrong. I'm wrong a lot. Just kidding. I'm always right. What am I saying? Alright, we'll get off now. Come on. Yep, there she go. That took all about 2 seconds. Ooh, she looked naked. Is that how it looks? Alright, so we're going to put it up on the stand now so we can get on with the oil change.
12 seconds later.
So I've decided against putting it on the stand. I changed my mind. I'm just going to leave it sitting up against the wall here. I might turn it around so I can work on the correct side. But with my situation here, it's not looking like I'm going to be able to drain the oil through that hole and then... But you could, but I'm not going to. Ta-da! We're turned around. Okay. Okay, first things first. We're gonna put the drain pan underneath. We don't want it in our way, so we're just gonna get it positioned. And then we are going to remove the fill bolt so we can get air in and to allow it to drain, because the drain plug is rather small on this bike because it holds a very small amount of oil. So this is a 5mm Allen. I'm just gonna back it out. Yes, this is the fill hole. It's very difficult to put oil in this bike, to be honest with you, just because of this situation here. Okay, that's that. I am not going to leave that in that grimy mess. I'll put it over here. Okay, that's a 5mm. Then we're just going to get this 8mm. I'm actually going to put this extension on it. As I said, you might need this. I think probably will. Now, the bolt is right there. That is a drain bolt. So we are going to position this drain pan, and we're just gonna put this on here and crack her loose. It's not very tight. Let's back this off of here. Here she comes. Ooh, look at how good my aim is. Now that's 50-hour-old oil. And it's still not black. It's pretty gross, but it's not black. No, don't get things on my gloves. So we're just gonna let that drain out. It's not very much of it, it doesn't take long. Tipping the bike, trying to make sure we're getting everything out of it. Leaning it this way, leaning it this way. Doesn't seem to increase the flow. We just got some drips now. We're gonna let it drip a little bit more. We're gonna put the drain plug back in and we're gonna fill her up. I'm pretty much overweighting for that. I am going to wipe whatever goop that is off my poor gloves. I think that's probably, yeah, that's a magnet. So that's all the metallic grime. Ugh. Oh my gosh, look at that. That's all the metallic grime that comes off from the gear reduction. I'd love to open that up and see how worn out they are. Put 100 hours on this thing. So I'm just putting that drain plug back in there. Hopefully we can get a good angle on it. Snugging it with my hand. One, two. It's nice and tight. I'm just going to give it an 1/8 turn. Maybe not even. How's the 16th? It's awfully tight now. We don't want to over tighten something like that. It's very small threads. We're going to get our oil. Oh, all right. So I use modal. It's really all I use on all my bikes. I find it to be the best. No, I'm not sponsored by them, but that'd be sweet. But more importantly, this was the only synthetic I could find that met the exact weight. I'm sure there's others out there, but it's the first one I found, and it was modal, which is what I already use, so no brainer. Now, and it's kind of nice because it's got like this perfectly sized nozzle, but this is gonna spill. You could, you know, get a funnel or something, but just the angle of it, it's hard to do. So I'm just gonna like ghetto this on here, and it's as good as a method as any, I suppose. I think it's like 80 milliliters or 90 milliliters, 80 milliliters, something like that, less than 100 milliliters. So we are going to just very slowly and gently, see, this bottle kind of works out perfect for this bike. Now I can see it flowing into it. And then we can take a look here how much we've put in, and then we can also look in the sight. It's gonna flow really slow with the way I'm doing it. I'm kind of pulsing it now. I mean, if you weren't impatient and a moron like me, it probably wouldn't spill everywhere. Just do a little dribble. All right, we're almost there. Oh, I can see it in the sight glass right there, right about 3/4. So I got it just perfect. It's less than 1/10 of that bottle. If you do overfill it, don't worry. It's really, really easy to drain, and you could actually watch the oil drain out of the sight and then just put the drain plug back in and be done with it. You wouldn't even have to refill it again. All right, so now that we filled it up, we can see the oil level in the sight glass. I'm gonna pick the bike up, make sure it's perfect when we stand it up, and it is. It's almost full. So you want it somewhere between halfway and 3/4. You don't want it all the way past it, and you don't want it below the halfway mark. So it's perfect the way it is. I'm gonna make sure this isn't dirty in any way. All right, looks good. Put the fill plug back in. Fill nut, fill bolt, fill plug. Cinch it down. Be real gentle on this. Yes, they need to be tight, but do not crank on it. It's just aluminum and it's unnecessary. You don't want to strip it out. That'd be a nightmare. And that's it. I mean, we're gonna wipe it off and put the skid plate back on, but that part of it, the oil change is complete, guys. Really that simple. Yes, look at my precision cleaning. We'll get under here where it drained out. Oh, a bunch of dirt sticking to it. Boom. Nice and clean. And if you don't have a skid plate, you're done. Go ahead and click off this video, but don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm gonna put my skid plate back on now. Well, let's get this out of the way and put this skid plate back on. This thing is really easy to install. I love it so much. Thanks SXS for hooking me up, man. Appreciate you, brother. Not only does this thing look sweet, it's totally functional and lightweight. Probably weighs a couple pounds at most. Boom. We're just tightening it down now. No! Actually easier somehow. Tighten these. No! I'm really good at dropping this thing. See, if you had like some nice tools like a T-handle, this would not be a problem. But I just wanted to show you guys that you don't need anything fancy at all. Basic toolkit, that's it. And 10 minutes of your time, if that. Even with the skid plate, it was like 15 minutes. Alright, that's it. Boom. Oil change complete. Skid plate removed and then put back on. Nothing to it, guys.
Alright, y'all, that's going to conclude the video for tonight. We changed the oil, we removed the skid plate and put it back on, and it still only took us like 15 minutes. Awesome. Not only is this oil change easy, you don't have to do it very often. Every 40 hours per the manual, and that's it. Maintenance on point. If you guys like this video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, please do subscribe. And as always, until next time, Electro out.